What is happening, y'all? Welcome back to the Media Goose channel. It is I, the Media Goose, your friend Ryan, and the goose is loose, baby. Huh? And obviously, silly. So, today I am coming at you with the second edition of my 7-round New York Giants mock draft. We are about a week away from the NFL draft, and I am going to focus specifically on my New York Giants. I'm only doing one mock this time. This is going to be a combination of what I would do in terms of I'm going to try to trade back, but I'm going to prioritize things I've heard about what the Giants want to do in terms of the players I take. For example, John Harbaugh said that he wants to have the best offensive and defensive lines in football. So I think that means a few things. One, Dexter Lawrence ain't going anywhere. Reports came out today that they had productive talks and that things are moving along in the right direction. So I'm anticipating either an extension or it's possible they just guarantee him more money for this season and make it incentive-based. There was another player who I think did that either earlier this offseason or last offseason. I can't remember who it was, though. But I could just see them guaranteeing more money for this season or locking him up. In either case, the Giants were one of the worst teams against the run last year with Dexter Lawrence. And if you take him off of that team, you're going in the wrong direction for being the best defensive line in football. So I think Dex is going to be here. There won't be a trade, but there is another player I think could be on the move in Kayvon Thibodeau. So the Giants paid Chauncey Golston last offseason, and he barely played. I feel like they could maybe see an increased role for him in absence of Thibodeau, and without moving Dex, moving Kayvon could... We only have 2 picks in the first 100. 3 if we have a pick at 105, so right outside of that. But between trading back and maybe using Kayvon, I think the Giants are going to move around the draft board and be advantageous when possible. So I'm going to use Mock Draft Hero again today, y'all. Let's kick it over to that now. All right, y'all. So I'm going to show you the settings real quick. I am going to up the randomness a little bit to 20%. Draft for need, I'm going to put at 30, and I'm going to say there should be 3 trades per round. All right, so the 1 second between picks. Let's get this thing started. Fernando. The Chiefs move up to number 2 and take Arvell Reese. Wow. That's pretty shocking. Let's see what trades we are being offered. The Ravens, 14, 45, and 115. 13, 61, 93, and a future 4th from the Rams. It's good value. And 18, I don't know that I want to move down that low. 14, 45. It's the difference between 61 and 45, really. And the difference in player in that range. I am going to accept the trade from the Baltimore Ravens. Get 14 and 45. I like that second pick. They went up and took Mansour Delane, then Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, Jermod McCoy, Caleb Downs to the Jets. I have not seen that one a lot. Monroe Freeling, the Panthers moved up to number 10 to take Monroe Freeling. Chris Johnson. He's a guy I've seen a lot more in the first round lately, but 11 is wild. Jerry's thrilled getting Sonny Styles at 12. I wouldn't be shocked if he moved up for him. And the Rams break my heart by taking Vega Ioane, one pick before us. So we moved down to pick 14. Ruben Bain is still there. Would anybody try to come up to get Ruben Bain? Move back 2 spots, move back to 19. No, I am going to. They traded back to 14, and we are going to take the best player on the board. I think a lot of Giants fans are going to hate this, but Jeremiah Love, I don't think Tyrone Tracy or Cam Scatterbo are every down backs, and I don't want to ever trust Cam Scatterbo to be healthy for a full season with the way he plays and the way he's talked about head injuries. I don't trust that he'll have a long career. So I would bring in Jeremiah Love, make him the lead back, and the Giants are going to be a run heavy offense. And I feel like Jeremiah Love and Cam Scatterbo as a 1-2 punch is actually really great. So let's see how the draft went after that. Ruben Bain to the Bucks, Jordan Tyson, Fano, Thieneman, Falk, Colton Hood, Ty Simpson to the Steelers, TJ Parker, Caden Proctor, Maxi Onacher. The Pats moved up to take Kenyon Sadiq. Omar Cooper to the Bills is awesome. Peter Woods to the Texans is great. The Bears move up to take Akeem Messador. The second round goes Avion Terrell, Anthony Hill Jr., Denzel Boston, and Caleb Lomu. So, 37 and 45 now. I really think, like I said, they're going to prioritize building through the trenches. There's 2 players I want here, and I don't know the order to take them. Well, there's 3 players I want here. Will anybody try to take this pick? I'm not moving down far if I move back. Yeah, no. I am going to take Christian Miller, defensive tackle from Georgia. I think they want to add a lot of mass to this team and doing. Come on. Pregnon went 2 picks before us. That sucks. That hurts. I should have traded up. Chase Basantis is still there. Kalen Rutledge is still there. I feel like I might be able to move back a few picks and still get Basantis. Nobody wants to come up? Come on, somebody. Jadarian Price is there. Who wants to come up for Jadarian Price? Maybe the Vikings do. Pick 45, give me 49. Just kick me a 5th to move up 4 spots. Maybe a 5th next year? Yeah, no, they don't like that. They take Keontae Scott, CJ Allen, Gabe Yakis, Antonio Williams. So I am going to go ahead and take Chase Basantis now. So adding Christian Miller and Chase Basantis in the second round, you're adding a lot of mass to the team. You're adding a reliable guard who I would rather start over Falele, who's terrible. And even if you don't want to start a rookie right away and you do go with Falele or you re-sign Greg Van Roten, I think that the interior of the line is a lot better off. And in this scenario, we kept Dexter, add Christian Lawrence. We have Darius Alexander. That trio as a starting trio, you also have Robertson Harris. So you've got some bodies there once you add in Christian Miller. And now, the Saints. What have the Saints done in this draft? Because, so they took Jermod McCoy and Jeremy Bernard. They still have a need for a pass rusher. I am going to go offer them Kayvon Thibodeau. And I will kick in a sixth. No, I'll give you a little bit more. I will give you 145. So to move up 2 rounds, we give the Saints Kayvon Thibodeau. They can drop him on the opposite side of Chase Young, and maybe Kayvon is better off somewhere else with Abdul Carter and Brian Burns comfortably ahead of him. So the Giants move up. I am working the board here. Jeremiah Love, Christian Miller, Chase Basantis. I do not like Chris Basil. We at Tennessee wide receivers. I feel like we have Chris Basil at home and it's Jalen Hyatt. I really don't know why he's still on this team, but he is. We still need linebacker and safety. I like AJ Halsey a lot. Davison, Igbonason maybe. Igbonason or Halsey. I am going to say Davison Igbonason, the Ohio State cornerback. That gives somebody else that could potentially play on the outside. I would love for Deontay Banks to be traded, maybe in camp or something. Maybe after the draft, some team thinks that they are light in the corner room. I would take a conditional sixth or seventh for him. If maybe you have to use him to like pad out a trade or something. Maybe with the new system, they want to give him some runs, so maybe I'm wrong on that, but we are back up at pick 105. We still need wide receiver, linebacker, and safety. We've got Bryce Lance, brother of Trey Lance. We've got Bud Clark. I am going to go with Skylar Bell is there. What's the rest of my pick situation look like? Oh, I have a pick in 10 picks. So I am going to go with Bud Clark right now. I doubt Skylar Bell makes it to me, but that's all right. Maybe he does. He does. All right, Skylar Bell joining the team. So now looking at what we have done, we have Jeremiah Love, Chase Basantis, and Skylar Bell joining this offensive unit, and we have Christian Miller, Davison, Igbonason, and Bud Clark joining the defense. I think having a guard and defensive tackle go early for us makes a lot of sense with everything Harbaugh has preached and the way he has built his teams. I also just think Jeremiah Love, best player available, man. He is, and moving back to where I did in the first, he's not coming in as one of the 5 to 8 highest paid running backs right away, which I've heard that debated in this draft cycle. Maybe that's just because of the overall lack of blue chip players at the most highly valued position. There's no Joe Alt in this draft. There's no Jamar Chase. There's no. I mean, Fernando Mendoza's there, but I don't even consider him like an Andrew Luck. Like, so taking a running back early while he might be the value might not be worth it in terms of how much you'd have to pay him, but because of how far we move back, I think they are happy to come away with Jeremiah Love, a guy you can really build an offense around, frankly. And man, that team going in with that trio of running backs, I seem to remember another trio of running backs doing pretty well. Derek Ward, Ahmad Bradshaw, and Brandon Jacobs. So who knows? Maybe the Giants need some three musketeers. And I am going to take Deontay Lawson here from Alabama, linebacker. Let me lower the pick to 0 in between picks now, get this thing wrapped up here. We are going to start thinking best player available. Ooh, there's a center. I'm going to take Parker Brailsford, a center. Then we are going to take. We lost Daniel Bellinger. Maybe we could take Marlon Klein, tight end. And then last pick. Let's see any names that might jump out at me who are less valued here. I don't hate the idea. You know what? Get a rookie quarterback in the room with Jackson Dart. All right, so I am going to pull up our picks here. I am overall pretty pleased with this. Jeremiah Love at the top. We moved back to 14 to get another second round pick and to justify not having to pay Jeremiah Love like a top of the market running back. I love getting Basantis and Miller, two guys that, like I said, emphasize the offensive and defensive lines, something John Harbaugh has been clear he wants to improve. We attacked the secondary with Davison and Bud Clark. Skylar Bell at 115, I feel like is really great value as well. And one of the reasons I don't mind not going wide receiver early is because it is a pretty deep class. Then we had Deontay Lawson hoping to help against the run, Parker Brailsford as a potential future center, Merlin Klein at tight end. Maybe he has some Harbaugh connections being from Michigan, and Cole Payton as a developmental quarterback. All right, y'all. So that is 2.0 of my New York Giants mock draft. Let me know what you thought of the picks down below. I'll definitely have at least one more mock for the Giants before the draft, maybe two. And I can tell you, we are filming the second Ryan and Ryan mock draft before the weekend, so that will be up as well. My last 3-round mock draft hit 1,000 views. Thank you, everybody, for that. That's awesome. Most of my videos do less than 100, so that popping for 1,000 is crazy. I hope I got some return viewers. If this is your first time here, join the Goose's flock over here. Subscribe to the channel so that you're notified whenever I upload some new content. I'll always be covering the Giants and the draft. I'll definitely be doing post-draft talk of the class, and I'll also probably do an early 2027 mock draft. So, guys, hit like if you're still here. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. The Goose is out.